But, you know, really, Leicester needed all 3 points tonight. It is a good point, but is it too late? Time will only tell, Dan, but, you know, it was a spirited performance, I have to say. You know, it really was. Yes, Newcastle played Thursday night. Very emotional night as well. So they're emotionally drained, physically drained. So did that play into Leicester's hands somewhat? I don't know. I didn't see, you know, too much of a hangover from Thursday night with some of their play, I have to say. It was just maybe one or two of the players weren't in tip-top form tonight regarding Callum Wilson and players like that. But, you know, somehow Leicester come out the other end not conceding, which will hopefully give him a big boost moving into next week.
Yeah, I know the press box, Jerry, your commentary position up at Newcastle is really close, isn't it, to the dugouts? You can see the tunnel as the players are coming off. What was the sort of the mood like amongst the Leicester players, the staff towards the end and at the end, at full time?
Yeah, you'd have to say mixed emotions. I think they knew they needed to win, really, you know, to keep it where you want it, and that's within your own hands, Dan. And obviously that didn't happen, but there's not a lot the manager can say in regards to that in the dressing room after the game. You know, he set up defensively. He set up with a back five, not a back three. That was clear in that first half. I thought the midfield worked tirelessly tonight. I've got to give them credit from side to side. Ndidi on one side, Samari on the other, Tielemans in the middle. Although Trippier, you know, at times, you know, had the freedom of St James's Park, I think, you know, Sumari, and on the other side with Dan Burn, you know, indeed he made it as difficult as possible. You knew they were going to put balls in the box. That's why you play three centre halves. Look, you can see the space in wide areas. You put three big lads in the middle, and you say, right, every time that ball comes into the box, you have to win it. And that's what they did for the most part. So you can't have any complaints in regards to the lack of attacking quality in that first half. And then, you know, as we all seen and we all spoke about, towards the end of the second half, where the formation was changed, Leicester were bossing the game. You know, they really were. Newcastle at times couldn't get near them, and it's just, again, just those little bits of composure and quality in the key areas of the pitch that let them down. And then when that one moment of quality does come from Maddison will have crossed and Castagna will have shot, and you've got a top class keeper equal to it. So you can't have really any complaints about the final result tonight from a Leicester perspective.
Team in the top five. So it's not something that Leicester have done too often. You know, go to a tough place and come away with a positive result. So you have to look at that, Dan, and be pleased. Yeah, we'd have loved the 3 points. Of course we would have. I'd have loved to have seen Maddison on the ball in more advanced areas, but it was hard to get him the ball in those advanced areas. I totally agree with Tags. I thought the last 15-20 minutes we got into the game. We had a real grip towards the end of that second half. It's just a shame that we couldn't create more than that one glorious chance for Castagna right at the end. But you know, you've got to be pleased with a point, and it's all obviously now on Sunday. And I mean, if it was tense tonight, it's going to be even worse on Sunday.
Absolutely. I'm dreading it already.
No, there's going to be a hell of a lot going on. Luckily, it's only the three teams involved, isn't it? Not long ago. Talking,
9, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Multiple teams in the fray, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just thinking about it now, because when on the face of it, like, you fancy Everton to get something at home against Bournemouth, don't you? But we know what football's like, and then even if that was to occur, Leicester have got to do a job, and then people say, "Well, West Ham, good time to play them." Is it? You know, after on the back of what they achieved last week, and they've all gone out and had a jolly and celebrated, and they're buzzing. They're on a bit of a high, regardless of what team he puts out. I remember we did it after the Worthington Cup final in 2000. We had the longest week celebrating you would ever imagine. We played the best that we had all season. About 2 days after that celebration finished, against Sunderland, Stan Collymore hat-trick, etc. God knows how we did it, but we did it. So West Ham are on a high generally. They've escaped any relegation worries, haven't they? So that's going to be a test in itself, and that's before you even look at Leeds, Tottenham. But who knows? They could, Everton, Leicester looking at each other. They might both have their problems, and then Leeds go and sneak something, don't they? And who knows?
Shall I give you Everton 1 win in 10? But that was a cracking win away at Brighton. They've won 7 games all season, and as Matty said, they've been okay on 5 of those 7 have come at home, but they have lost their last 3 at Goodison Park. They're without Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Well, we don't think he's going to be fit. Bournemouth, they've won 6 of their last 12. They've won 3 of their last 4 away games. West Ham lost 4 of their last 6. They've lost 12 away all season. You've just got to look after your result, take care of your result, and then hopefully, results elsewhere will go our way.
That's relevant, but irrelevant at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't it?
You can't really look too deep into
No,
stats.
you're right. You can look at it from your own perspective. You think, or as a player, you think, right, there's reason to be positive here. That things might go your way, but you just mentioned it there. Everton 5-1 at Brighton. Make sense of that. You can't. Sense doesn't come into it on the last day of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a long 6 days, Jerry. That is one thing that we can definitely say. There's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes, but this build-up to Sunday is going to be a difficult one.
Yeah, this has been a long day today, Dan. Never mind the next 6 days. So
You've got to get home yet, so
can we crack on with this? The fans, most of the fans are still in the stadium.
make an escape.
But yeah, again, to a certain degree, all you can do is try and win your game and hope the footballing gods are on your side. It's as simple as that. And I've been in this scenario before myself with Bolton when it was Everton as well. Went down to the last game of the season. But the unfortunate thing was then Bolton had to go to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. And Everton were at home, I can't remember who to, and in the end it went down to goal difference. So who's to say it won't do that again? Who's to say that Leicester win and Everton draw? And if that's the scenario, obviously the goal difference comes in, and let's hope it falls on the side. But you just don't know. You just don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen next week. You just have to give it your best shot, as I say, and hope that the footballing gods are on your side.
Gerald, here's a quick one for you. Sunday against West Ham, back 3, back 4. Which one?
Great question.
Well, it all depends on Johnny Evans, doesn't it? At the minute, I think it all depends on Johnny Evans. But
He's fit.
I go with a back 3 because that's the best. In recent games, that's our best scenario of keeping clean sheets. And I think it doesn't matter what side West Ham put out next week, we have to try and keep another clean sheet. And if we do that at home, then we give ourselves a great chance of scoring.
Well, thank you very much, Jerry. We'll let you go because I know you're going to try and beat all those Geordies who are still in the stadium. So safe trip back, Jerry. Thank you very much. We'll stay on for a few minutes longer anyway, though.
I was going to say, good question, even better answer.
Yes, exactly.
I'd go along with that.
Yeah.
I'd go along with that, I think.
Well, we said that in there, didn't we? We said back 5, but obviously you'd be a bit more adventurous.
Yeah, and you'll have a little bit more time on the ball, etc. Not quite so. Listen, there's going to be a lot of tension around, but at home, West Ham might not be, hounding you down like Newcastle do. Hopefully, you get a little bit more time and space there. But I think that's the right way to go, because if you went back to the 4 and then all of a sudden got caught out by being a little bit open and naive, then you've shot yourselves in the foot there. Give us too much to do. I think they'll start again with a 3. You'd imagine so, regardless, probably of
It'd be hard to
Which one
change
you
now
feel
that
or
you've
not.
kept first clean sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Since the
That's
World
your
Cup.
first
Yeah.
main priority.
Win the
isn't it?
game 1-0, it doesn't matter. You know, you just got to keep that solid defensive base and be a little bit more, which I would expect at home at the King Power, and maybe have to sacrifice one of the 3 midfielders for another body, sort of in and around. If Dean Smith does go with 2 centre forwards again.
And fair play to that man there, Dean Smith, tonight, Ewan, because I guess it can never be easy as a manager being as sort of defensive and resolute as Leicester were tonight, but it was needed, wasn't it?
That's his. When he first took over, was it 1 point in 9 games? And I think tonight's his 6th point in 7 games. And let's not forget, we've played Man City and Liverpool at home. 2 teams that at the time were absolutely flying. So, you know, he's come in, he's made some big decisions tonight, left some big players out in Maddison, in top scorer Harvey Barnes. He's changed the shape, which I thought he was spot on to do. And he's taken the season to the very, very last game.
Yeah, I think there can't be any complaints really about how Leicester approached it tonight. As I said before, he might look back on it tonight and then think, oh, maybe I should have switched it up a little bit earlier, even in terms of game-wise, you know.
Before Fulham, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. Anyway,
yeah, because you know they've tried it for most of the duration of the season and got exposed at one stage or another in games, and they've looked frail, haven't they, defensively? And I don't know. I think it dipped into it against Man City away. Man City with a back 3, but then they got, to use one of my phrases, got tomahawked in the opening 20 minutes or so, didn't they? But that's Man City. But yeah, listen, we'll never know. But it certainly aided them this evening, I would say. And like you say, good timing of substitutions. You know, it's difficult. You think, oh, should I go for that, or am I going to ruin what we've got already? But they tried to develop some sort of potency in the game, and very nearly pulled a rabbit out of the hat, didn't they? Just a one shot, I think, in the entirety of the game. Yeah, that Castagna.
So nearly though.
I do think that he probably would have gone to a flat back 4 at some stage in that second half, maybe
regardless of the injury.
I think so, Dan. But obviously, with the injury to Johnny Evans, forced his hand a little bit. But there would have come a stage where I think he would have gone for it if that makes sense, which I thought we did in the last 10-15 minutes. We gave it a right good go to be fair. So we have to. I mean, it's a daft thing to say we have to build on that because we've only got 1 game left. Leeds, it is, isn't it? I mean, Leeds were in.
Come on, you two have been friendly tonight.
Leeds were in this scenario last season, going into the last game, having to win the game. They went to Brentford, and when Everton they survived in their penultimate game when they beat, I think it was Crystal Palace at Goodison Park. So maybe time catches up with you as a football club. Maybe you've been tinkering with relegation for one too many seasons, and this is the time that you know you fall through the trapdoor. Let's hope so.
Hopefully, from our point of view, that is the case. Well, big thank you to you both, of course, for your company tonight. We've got plenty more coming up, though, of course, including that huge one on Sunday. We're now 6 days away. Feeling we need one of those timers counting down to kick off, don't we? Because it is a huge final Premier League Sunday for the Foxes. Leicester against West Ham. We're live from 3:30 on Matchday Live here on LCFC TV. If you can't make it to King Power Stadium, do join us for all the build-up. Hopefully then we'll be on extra time speaking about Leicester staying in the Premier League. That'll be on Monday at 6 o'clock. And you can also listen to the latest episode of Leicester's The Place, a brand new podcast. It's got Matt Elliott and Jerry Taggart in conversation with this man here, Ewan Roberts. You can get that wherever you listen to your podcasts, or you can watch it on YouTube. That's it from us tonight at St James's Park. As again, thank you to you and thank you to Matt. It's a point. It's one step closer, but there's still one massive game next week on Sunday. Have a bearable week, everybody. Good night.